In today's video, I built my very own photography studio in Los Angeles. Hey glossettes, welcome back. How are you guys doing today? Now today we are back in my city building series Los Angeles for the 10th build. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I can't count. But today we are down here kind of finishing off this entire row. Oh wait, no, there's one here as well. But this is where we're going to be building today, and we are of course building a photography studio. Now I've been excited for this one. I don't know why, but obviously as we've talked about, the plot data on this is getting a little too much. So right now it's at 76%, but I do have the 40% extra. So technically it's already over 100%, and my PC is starting to get a little bit warm every time I load this plot. So a photography studio works pretty well because it's pretty much empty. Like there's not a ton of stuff you have to put in it. So I thought this would be good. And I also have quite a cute idea for the front. So let's go on to the build plans. So the only idea I have for this is that on the front, I want to have like a camera for the logo, and that's literally it. I haven't planned the inside. I don't have any design ideas for this, but I do want to have obviously like the studio area and maybe like the rooms that are very red to develop photos, maybe even a photo booth. I honestly don't really know, but let's get into build mode and I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the layout because I have kind of been working on it. Also, I don't know where that door came from, but this is what we're working with. So this is going to be like the desk or something. I might actually move it because it depends on like the layout of this room, but this is going to be like the waiting area and stuff. We might have something cool on the walls. Then this is the studio area, and if you're wondering why there's a hole in the wall, it's because it won't let me place it because I have stuff on the wall in the nail studio, so it's kind of being difficult. I'll have to patch it up with basic shapes. But we also then have this tiny room, and I was thinking this could be the little like red photo developing room, but this one is going to be the studio where we have all the backdrops and stuff. I didn't know whether to put windows looking into it or kind of having this not be a window, but this is kind of like the size we're working with. And I do think, you know what, we're going to start with the inside instead of the exterior first, because I do just want to go through first and find all of the things I can actually use for this. Now we do actually have quite a lot of photography items. We have this small green screen which obviously folds itself up, but you can open it up. We also have this one. Obviously you can color the background so you can like have whatever you want. Not purple, obviously. We'll do like a nice pink, but this is probably going to be the main like display, I guess. I just don't know whether to put it on this side or this side. I'm not too sure where the door's going to go. Actually, if we do it like this, we can have it on this side with some space there. But yeah, we could do that, and then we could also have the mini one on this wall too. We also of course need actual camera equipment. So if I go into appliances, we have like some speakers and stuff. Where's the camera? Okay, here we go. We have like a huge film camera. We don't need two of those, but we also have the tiny little camera. So I was thinking we make our own tripod and maybe build like a ring light ourselves and stuff, as if I'm going to be able to figure that out. We have some electronics we can put in. We'll probably have like a PC area at the back for them to like edit photos and stuff. But let me grab a PC. So we'll get one of these. We also obviously need props and things and decorations and lighting. Oh my gosh, it'd be so cool if they added, you know, one of those big lights like for filming and stuff. Oh, we do have these though, so we could also use these kind of like on the ceiling. I don't really know. Oh wait, that's kind of cool. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff we can put in here. I think we will start with the studio area because I don't know what to put in anything else right now. Let me just mark out where the door's gonna go. I'm not gonna use this door, but I just want to kind of start kind of planning everything. And also let me just patch it up. So we're just gonna work on the layout a little bit first. I did have something I was gonna say, but I can't remember what it was. But anyways, hi guys, how are you all doing today? I'm actually pretty excited for this build. Oh my god, the floors are all overlapping because I changed the layout of this city so much. But yeah, I think this is gonna turn out pretty nicely. I just want to steal a floor. Actually, I kind of want to do a concrete floor. But yeah, how are you guys doing? I'm doing pretty good. I did have a weird experience a couple days ago though that I feel like I need to talk about because it's so bizarre that it's just been in my head ever since to mention. But basically, the other day, me and my mum were walking to like this shop, and we were walking like down this kind of like, not an alleyway, but it's kind of like behind a bunch of houses, like in between them. So there's like a road and there's like garages, like it's the back of people's garden. But as we were walking, we saw like a bunch of bread on the floor, just like slices of bread, which is obviously very weird. But obviously someone could have like dropped them out a packet or something where they were walking with like a packet of bread, if you do that for some reason. So it's kind of like, it would make sense if someone accidentally dropped it and then obviously just didn't pick it up. But as we got closer to them, we realized it wasn't even even just bread, it was toasted, which just makes it so much weirder because it's like, it would make sense if you accidentally drop some bread out of the packet, but how have you managed to get, it was like 7 or 8 slices of bread, toasted bread inside from a toaster, and just drop them in the street? Like, what is the point? And they were also different like flavors, I guess, of bread. There was like brown bread, you know, like the brown cedar bread, and then white bread, and it's like, where did this come from? And it was just like a pile of toast, and it's so confusing. I'm still just baffled by that because I can't think of a single scenario where you would make toast out of multiple types of bread and then dump it in the street. I don't get it at all. Anyways, yeah, that kind of happened, and it's just, I'm so confused. Oh my gosh, this isn't really touching the ceiling. I added like the ceiling tile light because I feel like it kind of goes. I feel like I'm gonna have to add some texture to the wall though, because this is kind of bright. Oh wait, I don't have a ceiling on this, do I? Okay, wait, let me add a roof first. I feel like it's messing with the lighting a little bit, but yeah, the toast thing was weird. It was so bizarre. But also, anyways, on the topic of Los Angeles, I know I said in the last video, which was Glasgow, that obviously plot data is, you know, getting a little bit tight. I'm having to be more careful. Oh goodness, now it's dark. But I did actually remove the 2 buildings that were over here because we're not gonna have these anymore. I'll probably make this into like a car park or something. And they were actually meant to be a library and then like a big office building, but the office building I'm actually gonna do in like a separate thing anyways. So yeah, I have removed those, so we have less to build. And I think Los Angeles will probably be finished in the next few episodes, maybe like 13. I think ironically it's gonna end up landing on 13, my favorite number, but I don't think this is actually gonna take that much longer. Okay, I've also just realized if I have the screen like on this wall, you won't be able to get into like this little room unless I had a door over here. So maybe I have to like move this around a little bit and have it over here instead. I can grab this from behind. Okay, yeah, this kind of makes more sense. I'm just trying to work out what color the walls should be because I kind of want to have a white backdrop like here. Or maybe, wait, should we just do pink? I'll do like a light pink. This is cute. Okay, there we go. So the next thing I did was just add a door and things into the smaller room and then add a bunch of details like another green screen into the main studio area. I also started building a custom desk to fit in this corner to have like a computer on where they could obviously edit photos and things, but I eventually decided to move this into the smaller room, and instead in its place I made another custom desk which was meant to be a makeup area for like the models and stuff to get ready for photos. So I filled it with products and did add some other little details in the room, and that was pretty much it. So this is how the studio kind of room is looking. It's looking pretty good. I added these lights to kind of like go on the green screen, and I actually think it looks kind of cool. But what we're actually going to do now is build kind of like the lighting and the camera tripod things here. I don't know how this is going to go. I was going to use this, but obviously this is like a movie camera, so it looks really odd just in like a photo shoot area. So we're going to have to go pretty custom here. This is what we're going for. So we basically need to just build a tripod and then we can just put this camera on top. This is kind of the method I'm going to try and do. So if I grab, first of all, a basic shape and make this tiny so we can put the camera on top like this, we can then transform it if I can get that little basic shape and basically put this like avatar's height. Where should I put it though? I'm gonna have to put it like, okay, it's kind of cramped in here. I'm trying to figure out how far back this should go. Maybe here. And I think this is kind of a good height for like an avatar's kind of to stand behind it as well. And then what we're gonna do is do the actual stand. Okay, wait, this might be really easy. We're gonna attach this to the basic shape and just add it on the floor like this. Okay, there's one leg. Let me do the rest. And then just add this one in. Oh, it's such an awkward angle. Okay, here we go. And there is kind of like the tripod for the camera. I might need to add more details, or does that look good? I feel like that looks kind of good. I kind of just want to add like some balls on the bottom because I feel like it looks kind of odd. I want some more detail. So if I take a half sphere and kind of make this tiny, I think this would look good, kind of being like the feet on the tripod on the floor like this. I just need to kind of make it more in there. Okay, there we go. That was pretty easy. There is my camera tripod. But now what I want to do is actually make the kind of big lighting panels they have. These things basically, I don't know what they're called, but like the big square kind of light panels on a tripod too. So I kind of want to have 2 of these. So what I'm going to do is make them copy and pasteable by just adding a cube, because then I can lower this into the floor. But let's see how this is going to go. The first thing we have to do is figure out how to build the light cube. So I'm just going to add, this is like a cube base kind of thing. We're going to add this here. And I think the only way I'll be able to do this is if I use the actual light cube, which is this thing here. Obviously we can resize this thing. If I add it kind of like on the front panel, maybe this will look pretty good. Okay, let's try this out. So this is what it's looking like. I've lowered the cube onto the thing. I don't know how to do the back bit though, because it's kind of like a triangular shape almost. So I don't know how to do this. We could kind of do like a roundish shape. I don't really know what to do the back looking like. Wait, could I do it with this inner corner thing? What on earth is this shape? I've never seen this in my life. I don't know how to do the back. Maybe like a beveled cube because it's kind of round. This might not look very accurate, honestly. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, you know what? That's kind of fine. It's just going to be kind of more of a box than than the actual ones, but it's fine. Then what we're gonna do is, how small can I make this? Okay, that's not small enough. We're gonna need to make like a tripod stand with this again, but I want it to kind of have a pole that goes down first. I just don't know how long to make it. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm trying to make it copy and pasteable, but it's kind of gonna be a nightmare because I obviously need to place the structural piece onto it. Wait, this is gonna be so wonky. Hang on. Honestly, it's kind of giving that computer from SpongeBob. I don't know why. That's what's popped into my head. Okay, here we go. And then what we can do is add the legs, and then it should be pretty good. Okay, last step. Let me just lower this down and kind of move it a bit. I feel like the pole's like a bit too thin. It's kind of weird, but this is it. I think this looks pretty good. It doesn't look that bad. I think maybe I should just thicken the middle parts up a tiny bit, so it kind of looks a bit odd. Hang on. There we go. And then I am gonna add another one. Let me find the part to copy and paste on the other side. Oh my gosh, it kind of actually does add lighting. Who would have thought it works? And there we have kind of like a setup thing. I think this looks pretty cool, honestly. I'm trying to look for like anything else we could build. They normally have like these giant white panels. I don't know what any of this does, okay? And like umbrellas. Maybe it would be cool if we had other stuff, or maybe I should stop trying to add a crazy amount of detail. It's getting pretty bright in here though. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I think this is how I'm gonna leave it because I do want it to be kind of minimalistic. But what we're gonna do now is, well, I tell you what we're gonna do first. I want to test this out actually. Oh my gosh, yeah, the new mini map. This is so good, by the way. Like, I genuinely love it. However, I have no use for it, so I'm just gonna immediately click off all the time. But let's go and see how the lighting actually looks. I haven't been in here yet, and then after that we'll finish off the rest of the interior and then the exterior, which I'm most excited for. Guys, wait, why is the lighting actually cute? Look at this. Oh my gosh, wait, this is so cute. I could do so many little photos in here. Okay, I'm actually really happy with how this is looking. But yeah, let's get to work on the other areas. So next, what I'm gonna do is actually kind of build like a waiting room type thing. And also, I think we're gonna have one wall that displays a bunch of photo examples. I have a lot of kind of like, I guess like photo shoots I could include. Like, there's a lot of like hair gloss posters and things that I could honestly just put in there as well. But let's just make a little kind of like entry area. And also, yeah, prosthetic. So I have another story time for you guys today because I'm pretty sure I've never actually talked about this in a video, but I feel like it's kind of on theme with the whole studio thing because it was like technically a studio. It was just like filming instead of photography. But when I was younger, I was actually in toy adverts, okay? So I don't know if any of you will like know this toy brand, but there was this brand, I think they're still around, called Wow Toys, who make like all these toys. And when I was like, I don't even know how old it was. I'm assuming I was like 5 or 6 years old. I was in some of these toy adverts, and I feel like I don't even think I've said this in a video. I think I did on my Discord server, but I don't think you guys even know about this. But basically, I was in a few of the adverts, and it was really cool. I will literally show you guys them in a second, but I want to talk about it because it was kind of crazy. So we obviously had to like audition for them and stuff, but I'm gonna be real, I can't remember any of that. But I was in these adverts. We had to go down to London to film them, and it was like, I think I was in 3 or 4 of them. There was like different toys. It was in such a cool house though. So the house they were filming it in was in like this giant kind of house in London. I always remember this because they had like this upstairs area which had a room which was just pink fur. Like the floor and the walls and everything were just made out of pink fur, and honestly it was incredible. Then they had like this little, I can't find anything to put in here. They also had like this little dressing room, and I remember the outfit I wore to this day because it was so cute. It was so glossy and like pink. It was like this little kind of like pink like ballet pop thing, like this cardigan and then like gray leggings and a pink headband, and it was so cute. They let me take it home. I love the outfit. I remember it. But yeah, I was in 3 different adverts. I will put them on screen now. I will play them. I'm also gonna link them in the pinned comment if any of you are nosy, but I'll show you one of them. I was the girl in this. You'll see a boy. There's like a boy in a few of them. However, fun fact, every single time you couldn't see the boy's face, and it was kind of like a shot of him, like just his leg or his arm, like playing with the toy. That was me dressed in his clothes. Now, I don't know who this kid was, but he was so irritating. When they were trying to film and stuff, he just wouldn't listen. So they basically dressed me in his clothes, and I was like kind of playing his part as well. But honestly, it was so cool. And also the hotel we got to stay in was so cool as well. It had like a helipad next to it, so that was great. I had a great time. A little bit of glossy lore for you guys. Okay, what can I even put in here? I'm trying to find decor, and I can't find anything I like. I'm going very modern with this, so I know what like chairs I want to use. I want to use these ones. I'm pretty sure I used these in the hair salon as well, but I feel like they give like the perfect vibe. We're also going very black and white. It's kind of going to be like black, white, and pink. And then the idea I had for out here is we're going to have like a wall trim that looks like kind of like a reel, if that makes sense, and then we'll have the camera on the top. Oh, it's gonna look so cool. So I finished the lobby, and this is how it was looking, but then I moved on to kind of furnishing the tiny room. I changed my mind from making it like a red photo developing room and just kind of made a small office for like editing photos and printing them out and stuff. I also bought the bloxburg PC so that it had kind of like multiple monitors, and added the big printer item as well. Plus I added a ton of posters and like a pinboard of posters to display, I guess, the photography work, and then I just added a bunch of clutter, and that was pretty much it. So the inside is pretty much done, at least for now, I feel like I can't really add anything because obviously I want to keep it quite minimalistic, and I feel like the main part, like the main decor, is probably the decals, which obviously I do towards the end, so I don't want to add anything else until I have all the decals added and I can kind of see what it looks like properly. Also, I added like a wire as if they're kind of like uploading the pictures to the PC. I thought that was cute, but what we're gonna do is we are gonna start on the exterior, which is kind of like the main feature. Now, I did do an updated kind of idea for this. I drew on the build. I was trying to kind of show you my vision. So what I want to do is have like a wall trim around the bottom that is kind of like the reel things, you know, like the reels of film, and then at the top we're gonna have the camera I wanted, and then it's gonna have a flash, and the flash is gonna extend outwards, even though this kind of like wouldn't really work, and then it's gonna have the name of the store, which I still haven't come up with, but I kind of want to use the word glam. But this is what we're going for. Now, I'm gonna be real, it kind of feels like a lot of detail, especially when my PC sounds like it's on fire. So I don't really know how this is gonna go, but I'm gonna try and keep it as little detail as possible. And one of the ways I'm gonna do this is we're just gonna add a wall trim instead of basic shapes, so I don't have to add a bunch of basic shapes, and it's kind of easier. And then all I'll have to do is add the white bit of the reels around the bottom too. So we're just gonna see if this would work. I feel like the color scheme of this thing is very weird. I don't really know where it's going, but I just want to see if I could possibly do this, because I think if we could, it would look really cute. I'm gonna be honest, I've also stolen this wall trim idea from my own build plans, so I do have another build that I've got the plans for, which I'm gonna use this kind of technique too. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is, but yeah, we have like another kind of movie related build that I want to do at some point this year, and I've been saying that for the past like 2 years. I don't know how wide to make all like the squares, because I need to kind of fit them in equally. Okay, if we do that, and then we just do this one in the middle like this. Okay, that looks pretty equal. So that's kind of the first thing. And then for like the little, they kind of have bits on the top as well, like tiny squares. I think I'm gonna have to use a structural kind of like this, and then move it up a little bit like this. Guys, do you see the vision? Wait, I hope this actually turns out cute. So we're gonna do the tiny, oh my gosh, it keeps messing up. Wait, oh my god, wait, I'm actually happy. Okay, so this is how it's looking. I am actually so happy with this. I think this looks so cute. We have the wall trim. I did kind of stop it halfway around because look how many tiny parts this has. If I keep doing this, this is really gonna blow up the plot data even more. I also made the camera, and I also kind of made the walls like a very dark gray, and I think this looks pretty cute. I feel like I've been so efficient today. However, we now have to do the bit on the camera, like the flash thing, and I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm dreading this more than anything. I'm just gonna add a floor here so I have something to build on. And by the way, I still don't know what I'm gonna call this thing. I haven't even asked you guys for like a name, and I don't know how to make a flash. I don't know how to make this pointy. I'm actually like, my brain is just, I don't know what to do. Okay, we're gonna start with a cube, and I know this isn't the shape we're going for, but I need to kind of work out how big this should be, and it's gonna have to come like off the camera, unless I kind of just do the flash kind of being behind, and then we add a tiny one on the camera like this. So if this is the base, and then I'm gonna have to basically just add a bunch of triangles and try and make a flash shape. Wait, this is going so wrong, I can just tell. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let's add this, and then another one on this side. I'm not even 2 spikes in, and this already looks ridiculous. I don't think this is gonna go how I want it to go. I think I'm gonna have to actually make the basic shape square a bit smaller. I feel like it's gonna make it huge if I do it like this. Okay, right, let's do it like this. Let me add these back. Why does it look like a toothbrush? Okay, are you seeing the vision though? Like if I just like add the spikes. Oh my gosh, this does not look like a flash. Oh my gosh, why is this such a weird shape? I'm actually gonna crash out. Guys, I don't know how to do it. This is what I'm trying to achieve. This is the shape I'm trying to make. You know what I might have to do? I might have to like take a picture of one of these and put it as a decal in Roblox so I can like copy the shape in game, because this is crazy. Okay, wait, I kind of like this one, but I want it to be more stretched a little bit. I'm gonna try and stretch the image in this sketch app. I normally use my iPad for stuff like this, but it's out of battery, so I'm using this free website I use when I'm messing with things. Oh, perfect. Look, okay. I can stretch it like this, and then if I put this image into Roblox, would it move that thing? I just want that. Oh my god. Put this image into Roblox, ignore the drag to move thing, then I should be able to copy it. Okay, here we go. What's Roblox like banned me for this? Bubble shape. Upload. Okay, let's see how this goes. Let me grab a decal for this quickly so we can actually put it on it. Make it huge. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, you know how in the past few Los Angeles videos I've been complaining about the fact that all my decals have like disappeared from all the stores, but I didn't know why because it was only some of them? Well, I did find out why, and it was my fault, but that's a story for another day because because I'll look like an idiot. Anyways, let's put this in here. We've got this. I'm gonna have to remove the ugly shape I've just done, but if I resize it a little bit, put it behind here. First up, we're gonna resize our basic shape to fit inside. You know what? This will do. We're gonna do this so it fits like in the middle bit, and then I have to like match all the triangles up. Okay, we gotta match up all the shapes, so I basically just have to rotate these so they line up perfectly with these ones. So there's number one. Let me flip it around and do the other side. There we go. There's spike number one done, and I'm just gonna have to do the same over every single thing. So I'm just gonna have to try and wedge it in here. At least I'm not using textures, otherwise it'd be glitching like crazy. But we should be able to do this kind of cool. I just need to make sure everything lines up properly. But I'm gonna do this, and then I'll be back when it's done, and we can actually think up a name for the store and kind of finish off everything else. And I think, to be honest, I'm gonna have to do a photo shoot to kind of fill up the decals in here, so should be pretty exciting. But I gotta get this blob done first. So the sign shape is finally done. I think it looks okay, and as you can see, I have also done some posters inside. I'm trying not to show them, but the last thing we have to do is the logo, which I'm gonna go and add on now and do a few final details, but that's pretty much it. So I will see you guys for the final tour. So the photography studio is finished, and we are gonna take a little look because, oh my gosh, I actually think this looks really cute from the outside. I could maybe make the gray walls slightly darker, but this is the exterior. So we have the logo. I went with the name Glamra Photography Studio because I really wanted to use the name glam, but then I also needed it to, you know, somehow have a word. So I merged it with camera to get Glamra, but then I've also realized it sounds like glossy and camera combined too. But I think it worked out pretty well. So we have the logo, we have the little wall trim and everything. Obviously, it's very minimalistic, so there's not a lot of detail, but I actually think I really like the exterior. It's definitely a very small build to tour, but if we go inside, we have the kind of like waiting area, the lobby. I have all my posters. Guys, how cute are these? So we have a seating area over here, and we have some pictures I made. So we have Jazz doing like a bow photo shoot. We have like this one, then we have Alexia as well. We have some pictures of all the Gloss girls as well on here, just a couple of those. Then we have the reception desk where I added some more posters, and I also added the logo here and stuff. And I just think it looks very sleek, very cute. I really like it. We have a little sitting area, and that is kind of it for this room. But then of course we have the back. So what I've actually done here is this has like a pool texture on it because that's what I was using for the last picture I took in here. So we have this. I added the bow as a decoration, as like a prop. We have like this area and just all of our like equipment. We have the camera and everything. I just think it looks so cute. I added the logo up there as well. We have our makeup area, and then I also added some kind of transparent curtains just to blur it a little bit. The outside of this bit sucks, okay, because obviously I couldn't continue with the heavy details, so I don't know what we're gonna do when I finish the town on this side. But yeah, this is our kind of main photography room, and then the final little area we have is of course the kind of like photo printing editing area. We have a bunch of pictures on the wall. I have some of the photo shoots we did for the nail salon. I have like a school picture. There's some more posters up here, and then I just have everything kind of again pinned on the board. And we of course have the massive PC area and like the cameras and stuff and a printer, and it's kind of small in here, but I think it looks pretty cute. I think we've actually done a great job. It feels like a modeling studio almost. That is pretty much it. That is the Glamra Photography Studio, our 10th build in Los Angeles, and I actually really like it. This is one of my favorites, which is crazy because it kind of doesn't really have any detail, but that is it. I love it so much. Let me know what you guys think down below, and that is it for today. But as per usual, all my channel members will be on screen now. Thank you so much for joining the channel, and all my Nitro boosters, thank you so much for boosting the Discord server, and all my merch buyers, thank you so much for buying my merch, which you can find linked in the description as per usual. But that is it for today, and I will see you all later. I love you all so much, glossettes. XOXO, Glossy Girl.